I'm Judy Zelina. Welcome to the Millcreek Government Channel. Today on our program, we are going to be talking about a newer program for diabetes prevention. We've done shows talking about how you deal with diabetes, how you accept it, how you regulate it, but I think one of the key issues here is diabetes prevention. Here to talk to us about this program and just also give us some other tips, I have Lana Kunick. And Lana, you are the Prevention Services Coordinator for the Erie County Diabetes Association.
Yes.
A familiar face from some past shows. We have Nicole Wolf. She is a registered nurse and she is now a volunteer with the Diabetes Association. Ladies, thank you so much for coming on the program. And you're going to be talking about a new program, and it's called
Group Lifestyle Balance.
And what exactly is involved in this program?
It's a prevention program, and there was a study done by the Diabetes Prevention Program.
Okay.
And just to briefly summarize that, the study proved that modest lifestyle changes were more effective than medication. So when those results came about, then it was a no-brainer. They had to come up with a prevention program, and that's where our program comes into play.
So it's prevention, and again, why is it so important for our viewers to learn about type 2 diabetes prevention?
You know, I think as a concerned nation, we're doing a really good job about talking about how prevalent this disease is. You turn on the TV, you open the newspaper, you're scanning the internet, and you hear 1 in 3 people is at risk for diabetes, but that's not enough. We need to talk about what to do with that information. So, you know, diabetes prevention is really about learning what your risk is for the disease and then what you need to do about it to avoid the disease.
Okay. How do I know if I'm at risk for type 2 diabetes? I mean, I think I'm perfect. I don't have anything to worry about, do I?
Right. No, actually, everybody can be at risk, but there are factors that make you at higher risk. If you are considered overweight, that would put you at higher risk.
All right.
If you were pregnant and told that you had gestational diabetes, that's another factor that puts you at higher risk. If you live a sedentary lifestyle.
Certain ethnic background, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, all of those things that, you know, we're accustomed to hearing about the overweight factor, but we're not necessarily aware of these other factors that come into play that really put you at a seriously high risk for the disease.
We've talked on past shows how important it is to stay active. Does that mean, Lana, does that mean I have to go and join a gym and be there every day and do this
Absolutely.
horrific workout every day?
No, not at all. Really what our program is asking is 150 minutes a week, which is roughly 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And the activity that we're asking for is no more than a brisk walk. So if you can walk with a friend and chat with them, you have your heart rate up enough. You should be out of breath, but your heart rate doesn't have to be pumping. You don't have to be drenched with sweat. It's just walking. And pretty much everybody can get around and walk.
And diet plays such an important part in the whole prevention scheme, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. You know, and again, we don't want to fall into that trap where it's all or nothing. That's a fallacy. Small steps. We're looking at cutting out fat, cutting out some of the larger portions of refined sugars and carbohydrates, but taking those small steps and not trying to do everything all at once.
Okay, we know how important it is being active and maintaining a healthy diet, how important that is in preventing diabetes. Why is it so difficult for us? What do you
I can speak for myself. Something I can personally relate to would be time. You know, you're working 40 hours a week and or taking care of a child and a home, and sometimes you get home and the last thing you want to do is work out, or you feel guilty. Well, I don't want to take time away from my family to go work out. So that, to me, time is a huge factor, and I know a lot of people struggle with that. Energy. You don't have the energy to do it, or a lot of the times finances. A lot of people think it takes a lot of money to eat healthy and to be healthy, and that's something we cover in the Group Lifestyle Balance program, is how to eat healthy on a budget. I think everybody can just relate to environmental stressors that keep us from being the healthy person that we desire to be.
And I think too, like a lot of people go out to eat now, so you're eating more processed foods and portions. we've talked about portion control, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that also is covered in the group Lifestyle Balance program is trying to, take those small steps to know that just with a little bit of planning, you can avoid going out to eat maybe 5 times a week, and packing your lunch so that you can put some of those healthier items to fuel yourself for the day.
Okay, this group Lifestyle Balance sounds like a great program. How can I get involved in this?
Well, the first thing you could do is you could go on our website, which is www.diabeteserie.org, and click on the Service and Prevention tab, and it will tell you all about the program. It will tell you the eligibility requirements, and there's also a risk assessment that you can take on there. If you look over it and you realize that you may be a candidate for this program, you would just call our office, and our number is 814-454-0715, and you just say you're interested to learn more about our prevention program, and we can figure out a location that works best for you, a time and a day that works best for you, and get you started.
Okay, Lana, what are some of the requirements to be eligible?
You have to have a BMI of 24 or above, which is not even considered overweight. It's just right there at the cusp of being overweight.
How do I know that?
You can go on our website, and there's a BMI calculator. You would type in your height and weight, and it would calculate your BMI.
Okay.
Because one of the goals of our program is to lose 7% of your body weight.
All right.
So you want to make sure that you don't come into the program underweight, because then that wouldn't be a healthy decision.
No, there you go.
So definitely the weight factor would make you eligible. If you've been told by your doctor that you're pre-diabetic, then you're eligible for the program.
All right.
Gestational diabetes is also a eligibility requirement,
right.
or I'm sorry, not requirement, but factor.
A factor
Yes.
where they could be eligible for it.
Yes.
Okay. Pre-diabetes. Okay, what is considered pre-diabetes?
Pre-diabetes is basically when you're on the cusp of developing type 2 diabetes. It is a reversible condition. So if you have pre-diabetes, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are definitely going to develop type 2 diabetes, but you're on that path if you don't make some lifestyle modifications.
And I know that by a test.
Blood test.
A blood test?
Right, and you can
And
go.
what numbers do you consider pre-diabetes?
So there's different types of blood tests that you can take. So
All
if you're
right.
taking a fasting blood sugar test,
Okay.
anything between 100 and 124 would be considered pre-diabetes.
All right.
Or if you're taking an A1C blood test, which gives you an average of what your blood sugar is over a 3-month period,
Mm-hmm.
up to 6.4, between 5.7 and 6.4 would be considered pre-diabetes.
All right. So, okay, so this is where you're going to have to start really watching things.
Absolutely, because the statistics show that those that are in the pre-diabetes range, at least 50% will go on to develop type 2 diabetes within 10 years.
Really?
If those modifications are not made with the diet and exercise.
That's why Judy Helkin would always make me tell her my numbers. I got smart. I started bringing my blood work things and remember.
That's an important point to make
is.
too, because you may go to the doctor and get those blood tests done, and maybe that pre-diabetes is not being flagged by your physician or by the nurse in the office, and here you are, going along your merry way thinking that everything is fine because you don't have type 2 diabetes. So it's very important to ask when you have blood work done, not is everything okay, but for those specific numbers.
And I think when you go to your doctor too, I think it's really important when you have blood work done, ask for a copy of it.
Absolutely.
This way, when you get one done in another 6 months, you yourself can compare and say,
Right.
geez, this is getting a little bit higher.
Yep.
They're not flagging it, but it's something maybe I should start watching, right?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
you should always feel comfortable to ask for that information too. I think sometimes patients will feel that, maybe they feel like they're questioning their doctor or they're overstepping their bounds, but be empowered to, be in control and in charge of your health, and it's perfectly acceptable.
And I don't think any doctor's office gives that a second thought.
No, not at all.
No, anymore, because people are becoming more aware and they want to take control
Right.
of their own health issues.
Right.
So this program sounds absolutely fantastic. Here's one question I go. What type of a time commitment is this going to be for me?
Commitment is a good word to put with that. It's a year-long program.
Okay.
Which the reason that it's a year-long is because what we're trying to work on is reversing habits that are so deep-rooted. A lot of them are from childhood. So a quick fix isn't going to, it's not realistic to think that in 3 or 4 sessions that all these habits can be reversed and you're on the path to a healthy lifestyle. So the duration is 12 months and there's 22 sessions in those 12 months.
Okay. You said different locations, a location that's convenient to you.
Yes.
Is it more than just one location?
Yes, currently we have 13 locations in Erie County. We have over 100 participants.
Really?
Right. So we try to hit all areas of Erie County so that we can hit somewhere that's close to where you live and an easy travel distance for you.
Do I have to wait and start, say I wanted to start participating, can I come in the middle of it, or is this something you have to wait for the next session?
It's something that you would have to wait for session 1 because it's so beneficial for you to be there the whole time, especially the 12 weeks in the beginning. Those are our core sessions, and that's where we're really getting to the root of why we overeat, what causes us to be inactive, and try to work through those obstacles.
Okay. How long is a session?
1 hour. 1 hour sessions once a week. And it starts 12 weeks, weekly, 1 hour sessions for 12 weeks. And then there's something called a transition phase where we meet bi-weekly, and that's just kind of to give your wings, make sure that you're able to do this. And that's when we go to our monthly meetings. So our last 6 sessions are once a month, and we just check in with one another. We cover topics such as how is your long-term lifestyle change going, and we make sure that you're staying on track, and if you're not, we give you the tools you need to get back on track.
Okay. Now what if I have to miss a session?
And that's fine. I have a lot of snowbirds, ones that go south for, they'll miss 2 sessions, and what you have to do is let me know you're leaving, and that's fine. I'll get your information, but we still have to make makeup sessions because you can't have any holes in the program. You have to get each and every session. So even if it's not on the exact day that it's scheduled, we can reschedule it for a different time.
Okay, so this is like a top to bottom type of workshop.
Yes.
For lack of a different word, right?
Right. Yes.
And I think the nice thing is, too, you were asking about starting in the middle of a session, is that Lana starts sessions throughout the year, so they're ongoing start dates throughout the year. So if viewers are out there interested in joining, she can pretty much start a program.
Right. Never hesitate to call, because when I have a program starting, I always have a program in the wings waiting to fill up. So it shouldn't be a long wait for you to get into a session 1 program.
So I don't have to wait a whole year.
No, no.
Okay.
Yes.
So the different programs you have could be at various stages?
They are. They're at various stages.
I see what you're saying.
And over the last 16 months, I've had 4 programs that have actually graduated with much success. There has been pounds lost, waist circumferences have decreased, people have been taken off their blood pressure medicine.
Really?
Yes. People who have been on the acid reflux medication who've been on it for 20 years, just from cutting back on fat and realizing what to fuel their bodies with, they're no longer on it. Lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure. So it's really a fun program, and it's effective.
Is it a weight loss program?
You know what? That's one of our main goals, is to lose 7% of your body weight, because it's proven that losing as little as 7% can bring down things like cholesterol, your blood glucose numbers. But it's not all about weight loss. It's about feeling good, boosting your energy, and just being knowledgeable of what you put in your body, because it's so important.
Okay. Now, do you have different speakers that come in and talk at different sessions? Maybe someone handle nutrition, someone handle exercise, or is it the same person?
It's considered a lifestyle coach, and they're usually who conduct the class.
All right.
But we have had outside people come in. We've had nurses come in and do different talks. We've had past participants come in and talk about where they struggled and where their successes were, to kind of give the participants that are going through it an idea of what they can do to stay on track and to meet their goals.
I think that's important. And I'll tell you what else is important. Going through this program, someone might backslide. How do you handle that when they'll come in and they just are beating themselves up one end and down the other?
That happens all the time, because nobody is 100% perfect all the time. You're going to slip.
Right.
So what we talk about is, it's not the slip, it's how you recover from it.
All right.
So if you have a slip, you have a social outing, and you're just completely off the wagon. You eat what you want to eat, and you're way over your fat and calorie goals for that day. It's not the fact that you slipped, it's that the very next meal you have to get back on. You can't say, I screwed up this weekend, so I'll get back on Monday. It has to be that very next step has to be a recovery.
Okay. Okay. In this program too, it's a year-long program.
Yes.
And what is your success rate, do you think, from this? Is it 100%? Is it 90%?
Success rate as far as meeting our two main objectives?
Yes.
It has been, actually I know for just my graduated participants, it has been almost a 50% success rate for the 7% weight loss, which doesn't mean that they haven't lost weight, but it just means they haven't maybe met that 7%, but it's 100% for physical activity, increasing their physical activity and meeting that goal, and it's 100% success for weight loss and BMIs dropped, which is really the direction that we're going for.
Okay. I want to step back a little bit and talk again about being at risk for diabetes, because I think that's very important. There's a lot of our viewers that are sitting, they're very comfortable sitting in their chair or watching this program right now, and they can be the ones that are at risk.
Right.
Again, how can they find out? I don't think I can stress this enough to let people know how they can reach out and find out if they are at risk.
One simple step that they can do is go to the Erie County Diabetes Association website. There's a risk assessment right there. So it's just basically just asking a few questions about their background. You know, what is your ethnic background? Are you overweight? Are you sedentary? Do you have some of those other metabolic risk factors such as high cholesterol, high blood pressure? Once you find out on paper that you could be at risk, that's the time to make an appointment with the primary care doctor to go forward with discussing the possible need for blood testing.
Okay. I think that both of you ladies have seen this, and we've talked about this in prior shows. When someone realizes that they are at risk or they've been diagnosed with diabetes,
Right.
right away, first off, they're in denial. And it's just overwhelming. I have to change my whole life. My whole life has to change immediately. Actually, you encourage baby steps, don't you?
Small steps.
And that's what this program is?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Analysis paralysis is what we call that when we're looking at changing everything. It's not, I mean, study after study has shown that it doesn't work. You have to start with small steps. And I think that that should be encouraging for anybody who has found out that they're either at risk or have diabetes, because you know, you don't have to go out there and start running marathons and cut out everything out of your diet that you're used to doing. Small steps can make a very big difference.
And I think it really does, because I know I'm the type of a person, if I decide to make a change, I'm going to go 150%, and I'm going to go gung-ho, and I'm going to tell you I fail.
Right.
I'll fail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it becomes so overwhelming, and I'll say, well, I can't do this.
Right.
Now, this program, though, and I don't want our viewers to confuse it, this isn't for someone who has been diagnosed with diabetes, is it?
No, we're catching you before you get the diagnosis.
It's the prevention.
It's the prevention, yes. So, and you don't have to be told, I just want to be clear, by your doctor that you are pre-diabetic. So if you don't have a blood test that states that you are, there's still other requirements that can help you to be eligible for the program.
And this is where, on the website, they can find out.
And all of that is on the website, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And how long have you been doing this program here in Erie County?
16 months.
Wow.
Yes. So
I am so glad to hear about this, because, Nicole, we've talked about this in previous shows.
Yes.
Prevention, and Lana, prevention is the absolute key to diabetes, because it's really at epidemic proportion, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And you know, I think it's important to note too that when we're talking about prevention of diabetes, we're talking about type 2 diabetes. There are two major types of diabetes. Type 1, not preventable, most often diagnosed among the childhood years. Type 2, you know, more preventable, and can be diagnosed, unfortunately, at any time. It used to be considered the disease of adults, but now we're seeing children as young as 8, 9, 10 years old.
I can't believe that. When you told me that, I am just, I'm amazed
It really is.
That's happening.
Right, and that's actually another thing that the Erie County Diabetes Association is focusing on, is reaching the children in those younger years through another program that they offer called Hop Sports. It's a school-based program that works with children that are at higher risk for developing the disease to become more physically active, teach them about nutrition and, all over healthy lifestyle choices.
For this program for the group Lifestyle Balance, what age do you have to be able to participate? Is there an age requirement?
You have to be at least 18 years of age,
Right.
and the cutoff is 74 years of age. So between 18 and 74 is the age requirements.
Now, going through this program, are you going to be testing my blood?
No, I don't do any of the testing of the blood. Every session, there's a weigh-in.
Okay.
Your initial session, you get your weigh-in and you get your weight circumference. So that's something you can count on for session 1. You receive trackers. So every single week, you're tracking what you eat and what physical activity you have. And that's where we find where you need to improve either your diet or your physical activity routine.
And you got to be honest, right?
Right, and that's what I
Got to be
always
honest,
say.
because it's all about improving.
Yes. And it's not about me or making the person who's reading your trackers proud. It's about you figuring out what you need to do to get to where you need to be.
And I think if you lose 7% or even any percentage of your body weight and you've learned how to eat healthier,
Right.
oh my gosh, it's a win-win.
It is.
Absolutely.
You were saying, and I think this is very important, so many times I hear people say, I would love to eat healthy, but I can't afford it. Right. And truly, a lot of your organic and healthier foods are more expensive. You give us tips on how we can do this?
Absolutely. We have a few sessions that really focus on that fact because it's the truth. And you're told, make sure that, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but make sure that you shop the perimeter of the grocery store. Well, a lot of the times the things on the perimeter of the grocery store are high price items. So we talk about what items are the most beneficial, but most nutrient packed for the best price. So we cover all of the budget-friendly foods and how to shop on a budget.
And I think that's important because everybody really is on a budget, and then you've got a family, a young family, trying to eat healthy. And think of also the benefit. Say I did this, or even one of my children, they're going to bring that into the household, so their children are going to be brought up and raised eating healthier foods.
That's right. Yes.
So it really is a benefit all the way around.
Yes, it really is. It certainly is.
Okay, our time is coming to an end. When I start talking about diabetes, I can just talk forever on this because you guys have so much information. But again, the key to diabetes is prevention, right?
Yes.
And that's what this program does?
It is a prevention program, yes.
Okay. And viewers, again, if you are interested in maybe even getting on the waiting list, or if something's coming up at any time soon, how do they find out about it?
Again, you can call our office. The number is 814-454-0715. Thank you. Or you can go onto our website, www.diabeteserie.org. And you can find all of my contact information, and you can give me a call, and we can talk about getting you on the waiting list.
Okay. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Lana, it's been a pleasure having you on. Nicole, it's so great to see you again.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
We have to do this again. What we should do is get someone who has gone through this. Did you go through? You didn't have to go through this.
No, I did not go through this.
But you work with it,
yes.
the program.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. But get someone on here and see how it's changed their life and their family's life. That would be interesting.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So,
that's
because
a really
you have
good
them
idea.
come back and speak. So.
Oh, yes. And a lot of my past participants would love to do that. So.
Oh, I think that would be a great idea.
Right.
Ladies, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Viewers, check out the website. Great website. There's always so much information on there. Give them a call. They've got a great. Do you still have the newsletters that you send out?
Still have the newsletters. Yeah, you can sign up for the newsletter right on the website.
Yeah, get on their mailing list because there's always a lot of information. So, viewers, thank you for tuning into the Millcreek Government Channel, and until next time, have a wonderful day.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.